Hi friends, Zoey here. I hope you're having an amazing day. So I am presently back home on Vancouver Island. This is where I was born and raised. And those of you who might be following my journey quite closely, whether it be on Instagram or on my separate vlog channel, which is Zoey Arielle Lifestyle, you've noticed that I have sold everything that I own and I'm about to set off on a big adventure. So in this video today, I'm going to be answering the questions that those of you asked around why I left Toronto and more about my move. So thanks to those of you who did participate. My Instagram is @Zoey Arielle if you want to follow the journey more closely, because things are about to get fun and adventurous. So let's get started. Alright, so the first question we have here is, why are you moving? So why am I moving? Why am I doing this all over again? If you guys have been on the channel for a while now, maybe you found me through my content before I moved to Rome from Toronto, maybe you found me while I was living in Rome, or maybe you just found me in the last year or through ayahuasca, something like that. But I have done this before. I have sold everything that I own or minimized my life down to a suitcase and done another move like this in my life. When I finished up university, I moved from Vancouver Island to Toronto to do my post-grad, and then from Toronto a few years later I quit my corporate job and bought a one-way ticket to Rome and did that journey for 3 years. Then I came back to Toronto, and from Toronto now I'm setting off on another adventure, which I'm keeping a secret now, but I've definitely dropped hints all over my vlog channel about where it is that I'm going. But I'm moving because, why am I doing this again? Really, there's a lot of reasons, but basically it's the end of a chapter and I'm honoring that. I've always felt that Toronto wasn't my forever home, as much as I loved that city of Toronto and what that chapter, let's say, represented for me, finally living on my own and doing a lot of deep healing. That chapter's come to an end. I am an adventurous soul. I am a Sagittarius, and I've always known that I was going to have another adventure chapter, and coming out of a dark night of the soul, I was prompted with this place that was the next step in the journey, and I just accepted it. I feel like I could make its own whole video on that, but when I announce where it is that I'm going and I tell you more about that process after the fact, I think more of it will make sense. How many suitcases are you taking? So again, the vlog channel, Zoey Arielle Lifestyle, there is actually a playlist on minimizing my life again, so you guys can go through and actually visibly see me decluttering, selling everything I own, and minimizing my life down to a couple of suitcases. So I have 3 suitcases right now with me on Vancouver Island, and I have 2 Tupperware bins that I'm keeping at my parents' place. That is my winter clothing and like some pieces of art and things, and that's essentially all I own right now. So I think to this new country I'm going to be bringing 3 suitcases and my bike. And I'm bringing 3 suitcases because I'm moving to a much different part of the world. So I've stocked up on things like skincare that I might need. I've stocked up on electronics just to make sure that I have everything to live my life and work from my laptop as I normally do. And yeah, I don't know, I guess 3 suitcases is the answer to that. The next question we have is a memory you'll keep close to your heart from your Toronto chapter. One of my favorite days in Toronto was when Lauren and I paddleboarded around the Toronto Island, and it was last summer, so summer 2020, when the world was going through some stuff, as it still is. And you know, we were still in like a lockdown over summer, but we really got into paddleboarding, and one day we packed a lunch and we decided that we were going to paddleboard around the Toronto Island, which was a much bigger venture than anticipated. But we spent the entire day paddleboarding around and had an amazing, fun day. It was super sunny, super good vibes, and we got around the side of the island with all the beaches, and there was just like huge parties going along on the shoreline, and people were partying on boats. There was like Caribbean music, and it just was one of those summer days you wish could have lasted forever, because you could just tell that so many people were living their best lives in this moment, and it was just a beautiful thing. It was just such a feeling. Of course, I got super sunburned that day, even though I reapplied sunblock numerous times, and we were just out there on our paddleboards floating around the islands. It's a memory that I'll always keep close to my heart for sure. Such an adventure day. The next question is there anything you didn't want to sell or let go of, but you felt you had to? No, I would say that the decluttering and minimizing process came in layers where I recognized which items, let's say, I was emotionally attached to, and then I had to bring myself to this place of being able to let go of them. But I was still able to let go of everything, and not one thing was there that I was like, I actually don't want to let go of this, but I am because I have to. By the time that things were leaving, I was very present to that and very excited and accepting of that. It's kind of like when I said it comes in layers, it becomes this exciting process where you start to sell things, you start to see things go, and then you want everything gone. And that's basically what happened. In the end, it was kind of like, well, what else can I sell or get rid of? And these Tupperware bins that I have on my parents' place with my winter clothes, I still feel like I could go through that and toss things up on Facebook Marketplace. But at this point, I just don't have the time, and I also don't know when I'll be back or where I'll live next, so I might actually need, let's say, a wool coat one day that I have, a pea coat. The next question is, would you like to come back to Rome? I would love to come back to Rome. Rome still remains the city of my heart, and I know when I return one day, it's going to be so special whenever that is. It's not time yet, of course. It's not in my path right now. But I know that when I do, it's going to bring up a lot of emotions, I imagine anyways, and it's going to be a very special return. So I'll share that with you guys, of course, when the time comes. But yeah, I would like to come back to Rome one day. I might even live there again one day. Who knows? Are you planning to continue studying film or acting elsewhere? So I deferred from school, which means that... And actually, to be quite honest with you guys, I don't think I'm going back. So what that means is that I intended to finish a diploma, and at this point I got halfway. But there's a lot of reasons why, covered in vlogs I've mentioned, around why I just didn't want to continue going to school on Zoom for film and acting, and how I actually do believe I learned more than I even anticipated in the 9 months that I was in the program. So I got even more than what I expected, and I feel like that journey's been put on pause for now. I'll always still be in like film and my own version of television, which is YouTube, and I feel like I've gained some skills. I've gained even more self-awareness that I was seeking. I was really looking to understand my energy more and transforming my energy, and that's what I got from the program. I also wanted to learn the skills to produce my own documentary, and that basically gave me a permission slip to do so. So it's something that I'm definitely keeping at the forefront of my mind, the documentary anyways, to produce in the future. So I don't know, I'm good. I feel like I'm good. It's not really where I want to be right now, but I'm not closing it forever. Are you nervous about the move? Not at all. I'm so excited. When did you decide that the next place was where you wanted to live? Will you do a video on that process? So I decided in February. Early February was when I committed to the decision, and I'm telling you, I fell into this manifestation vacuum. It was so incredible. I'll definitely do a video on the process. I actually want to do more of a workshop on the process of creating your own reality despite global circumstances type of coaching thing, which I'm in the works of creating right now. So there will be not just a video, there will be an opportunity for those of you out there who are looking to make a similar move towards more freedom in your life. Sorry, plane. As you know, I'm outside on the patio, so I just wanted to film outside because it's a beautiful day out, the birds were chirping, all that good stuff. Natural light is always the best too. But yeah, there will be more content on that process, but like I said, if you're looking for more of the in-depth day-to-day, the things that I went through, not just on a three-dimensional level, but just like spiritually and in my own mind, like what I was processing during the minimization process and everything, you can follow the vlog channel. What did you find most challenging when making a big move such as this? That's a great question. Moving is a big job, especially for one person. So getting everything that I needed to move, like let's say getting the Tupperwares, bringing them to FedEx, like I really relied on my friends and I'm really grateful for that. But I would say that I'm somebody who has a really difficult time asking for help, so that was difficult. Even if it's just asking my friends to drive me a place, it's something that I have a stuck energy around. I feel resistant to asking for help. But then having to have all these things not be as accessible as I know them to be, like let's say going to FedEx, dropping everything off, it just was a process, you know? What is something you thought you'd miss, but no you won't? Something I thought I'd miss, but no I won't. You know what? Probably ayahuasca. Because I think the last time, and my last ceremonies, which I haven't yet shared with you guys on my main channel, it's coming soon. And it's also coming soon on the Modern Psychedelics podcast. It was one of my most profound ceremony experiences. I said goodbye to the medicine for a while. And I think that I anticipated moving to this place knowing that there's, well, I guess this is an assumption that I'm making, that there's not medicine nearby, that I might miss it, but I know that I won't. I know that I'm good for an extended period of time. And I trust that when it's meant for me again, it will find me. So I think that was a great question, Roxanne. So thanks for asking that. Jordan asks, do you purge old journals? I'm finding it hard to let go of mine. Yes, I do. So I've had a lot of journals in the past, and I remember the first time I got rid of one that was very difficult for me was when I was in a relationship with my ex-boyfriend, and it was an abusive relationship, as you guys know if you've read my book, that whole chapter. And I got rid of my journal because I was afraid that he would look at it, because he was very much in my stuff all the time, needing to look at my phone, needing to be on my Facebook to like look over things. Like, it was just a very controlling relationship, and I got scared that he would find my journal. And so I got rid of it. And I remember that it was very difficult to get rid of my journals at that point in time, because one of them was the one that I carried with me throughout my solo backpacking venture around Europe. And so it had these moments, these significant periods of time that I was writing them through, and I got rid of it. And that was the hardest thing I had to do. And so since then, it hasn't been more difficult. And also since then, I've moved on to a Remarkable tablet. So when I journal, I'm actually journaling onto an electronic tablet, which saves paper, which helps the environment, and the Remarkable has been amazing for that, so I don't have this accumulation of journals. But yeah, I think it's hard to get rid of them at first, but I don't necessarily miss them, if that answers the question. Chica asks, 3 things on a stranded island, what would they be? Ooh, okay, well, one would be the Remarkable, because I love journaling. It's a process of my everyday, and it helps me, so, okay. So one would be my Remarkable. Let's just imagine that food's being excluded, because I'm assuming that I would be, like, eating fresh fruit and all that, and I wouldn't need to choose 2 other, like, food items. 3 things that I would want to take with me. You know, I would say my phone, but for music. So music on my Spotify, or else if I had some kind of music player, because music is so special to me. So it would be music and my running shoes so that I could work out. I guess that's what it would be. So I would have my journaling for my mind space, music for my creative space, and my running shoes so that I could do my physical activities. This is a really good question. Danielle says, do you still plan on getting a house in Canada for when you visit? So at the beginning of the year, that was my plan before the big move came into place. I was actually going to come back to Vancouver Island and invest in a home here. But, sorry guys, I ran out of room on my memory card, so I had to clear some space. So upon sifting through what I actually wanted, rather than trying to make the answer come, right? Because I was coming out of a dark night of the soul, and I knew something big was changing, shifting, happening in my life, and I assumed it was a move because I just was not feeling, or I was not resonating with Toronto anymore. And I tried to make it be Vancouver Island, and I tried to make it be buying a house, because I thought, you know, I'm 29, I should be in a place where I assumed I would be, like buying a house, having property, basically living an adult life, and what a successful adult would be doing at this point in their life. But that's not me. and I've really come to understand that, and that's been a beautiful part of this next level awakening, is really fully accepting myself for who I am and not being like most other people, let's say, that I grew up with or that I know right now in my life, and choosing to walk a different path, one that's outside of society's norms, which I've always done. So it makes sense that I would continue to do those things. So I think one day, like, if I'm going to invest in property, like, I'm just tossing it out there right now, if I'm going to invest in property one day, it probably would be here, because I know it's a place that I'll always come back to. But I also don't really think that I'm going to come back to Canada. I don't know, I have this intuitive feeling that I won't be back for a while. So, I mean, wherever life takes me, right? That's kind of the theme. How long do you plan to stay in that new country? So I have an agreement for 24 months, which is 2 years, and I can renew it after that. So I imagine I will for sure stay 2 years, because most chapters in my life have been 2 to 3 years, and I have a feeling I'm really gonna like this place. And I don't know where I would go after that. I mean, I'm just following the soul's journey, the heart's journey, so wherever that leads me. But I assume that, yes, I will use these full 24 months in the new country. Why did you decide now was the time, that this was your place and your greatest goal there? Okay, so like I said, I was sifting through this at the beginning of the year. I knew that I was going to have a big move. I assumed maybe it was going to be Vancouver Island because I wanted to be an adult. And then I allowed the manifestation, or the next step, to fully present itself, and I honored that. And when I honored that in my heart space, I fell into this manifestation vacuum where all the synchronicity started happening, all the signs, all the love from the universe, all the support in this next level move, which confirmed to me that this was the right decision. It felt very similar to that of when I moved to Rome. Like, the signs, the synchronicities, just the support and love that was coming in all different directions around the move. So that was how I fully decided that that was the place, because as soon as I came to this inner knowing, everything fell into place. And when I knew that this was my place and I gave myself a hard yes, it was like in ceremony, it was like in sitting with Hape, and I was like, yes. My heart just opened up, like, to a next level. And I felt so excited, like an excitement that I had not felt in years. And that's how I knew that it was right for me. My greatest goal there is to just reach my next level of freedom, my next level, like, liberation within the self. Like I said, letting go of these ideas of how my life should be or what it should look like, and really honoring who I am and just following the heart. So I think that's my greatest goal, is just next level freedom and abundance in all areas of my life. Is where you are going warm? Yes. Yes, it is very warm. And now this is our last question. Do you ever get nervous about feeling lonely in a new place? No. Because I feel like I always have myself. And I'm an introvert, so I actually do spend most of my time alone, and I actually love to spend most of my time alone. It's almost like I worry that I'll just spend too much time alone and not fully expand and meet all the people that I'm supposed to meet, but what's meant for you can't miss you, so I trust that. And yeah, around that nervousness, like, I feel like, especially having done this before, whether it was the move to Toronto alone, whether it was the move to Rome alone, or the move back to Toronto, I always just trusted that I would find help when I needed it. I would be granted the clarity that I needed when searching for it, all these sorts of different things, and angels have always presented themselves in my life. And when I first backpacked Europe alone, I remember telling you guys a story about literally when I feel like I met an angel. I'll leave that video down below. This woman came to help me when I was physically lost in Greece without anything, without money, without a cell phone, and she came to help me, and when I went to thank her, she disappeared. And when that happens to you once in your life, like when you have, let's say, a spiritual, out of this world experience that really shows you how taken care of you are and how you'll always find your way, you can't unknow that. And of course, it's something that I've come to understand more and more walking a spiritual path, more and more after doing plant medicine. But I just know. Like, I just know that I'll always be taken care of, and I know that I can always trust, and I don't have to feel lonely because I'm truly never alone. So yeah. Anyways, I hope that this video inspired you guys to maybe make a move, and I'd love to hear your guesses down below where you think it is that I'm moving to, because I'm going to be announcing it very soon. I'll be showing you actually very soon. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram to be the first in the know, and I will talk to you again soon. Love you guys.